Hello, it is me, We Anime or Anime We, and I'm here to bring you part 7 of What If Deku was Akaza's reincarnation. Now, little update. As you all may or may not know, I have a poll going up on my channel. After I get done recording this, I'm gonna take it down. So by the time you see this, it's already down. But, sorry. Either way, I had a poll running up on my channel. Um, About a Tanjiro what if he has been chosen. I am currently on the sixth form of the um of the breathing style, wood breathing. I'm I'm quite proud. I can't wait for you all to see it. It should come out after my now for me what if is completely done. It should come out. Should. But yeah. Now I want this between you and me. I'm only gonna do this for this video because it's actually only about the Deku what ifs. My question is explosions or fire? Which one will it be? An explosion or a fire? See, now I doubt any of you will actually comment which one you want to see. So, I'm going to be making a video on that, putting it up on my somewhere. Put it up somewhere. Okay. Which one it will be? Or you all might just have to find out. I'll do that in my own personal time. You know what? I'm doing that. It's gonna be a mystery until the first episode comes out. Yeah, unless you all comment down below and want to choose an explosion or fire. Hmm. Hmm. Which one will it be? For the Asta fans, I'm still deciding. Yeah, I'm not having the greatest time choosing. What my next Asta one will be. For Deku's, I have so many ideas that I'm working on and going to work on. Like, one I recently, wrote down as an idea is a rabbit quirk. Like Mirako. Like, I'm gonna do that. Right? Um, I'm going to work on that probably after my current, the wood breathing one. Either that or another thing. We will honestly say, well, you all won't, but I will. Um, but yeah, Rabbit Quirk is a high probability I'm going to do. Now, if I'm going to make him a female in that series is a whole entire different issue. I've been sticking with only male, mostly because it's not wrong to. uh, Like, I've done series in the past where I've made the main character a female, which honestly does work with the character, but I really want to do something new. Like, I've done stuff in the past where only females have quirks, and there's only one male or what what I'm saying? I've done that in the past, like twice, multiple times, because I thought it was a cool idea. Kind of interesting. Uh, I don't know what to do for this one, honestly. See, all I know, Rabbit Quirk. I'm gonna making it basically mirror. I'm gonna do Mirka's quirk, right? Rabbit ears and all, but not the whole entire white rabbit type deal. But we'll see. We'll see when I come to it. Honestly, I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But yeah, since I am going to definitely work on it after I get done with the breathing styles for the wood breathing. What if? Um, we will perfectly see how that goes. I'll give updates during the Deku What If, my next Deku What If, on that experience, on the actual thing, right? Like how it's going, like blah blah blah. Um, as for my next Deku What If, um, either explosion or fire quirks. Okay, I'm just telling that right now. I have basically done them both. Not necessarily new like ideas, but they are. Don't get me wrong, awesome ideas. But if I do one, it's gonna be the other one next, or the rabbit one next. I don't know yet. I'm so iffy on ideas, like which one I want to do next. It's very hard to do. That's why I've been thinking for a long time now to do a Discord server to talk with you all and ask the ones that would like to do it um, to help out in that fact, right? Help me choose. I'm not asking you to help me make the actual like things. I just want to know what you all would like to see, what you would think would be doing good. But I don't really know how to do that. I'm not that smart in that type of stuff. Like I could throw a spear and hit and target dead center where I want, but I don't know how to do the whole entire like techno tech stuff. I'm not that type of guy. I could shoot a bow and it gets where I want it to. The arrow, right? I can shoot a pew pew. The target's down, right? Okay, I'm telling you this right now. I spend a lot of time outside with like uh weapons, technically. Not pew pews or bows a lot, but a rock sling I carry daily. I train with it a lot. Now it's the hardest thing I've ever trained with to actually do stuff. I'm very inconsistent with it, but when I do it, it's great. I'm happy. I've been wanting an Ataladdle. Uh, it's a dart thrower. If you would like to learn more, an Ataladdle is an Ataladdle. An Ataladdle? You might have to turn on subtitles to learn how to spell it. But it's the spelling is Atlatl, an Ataladdle. It's very cool. Also, the coolest thing is um, Robbie Damon, the voice of Megumi and many more in multiple different series and productions, and a character in like the new campaign 4 for Critical Role. Cadigan Vale uses a Ataladdle as a weapon. So yeah, I recommend you watch the. I mean, unless you don't want to, I recommend it though. I fully recommend it, like entirely. But either way, let me get a drink of water, and then we can get into this. I think you should also get a drink of water because honestly, if you don't hydrate, you're I don't got a damn clue what that means. Anyways, let's get into it. We can see Class 1A, well, now 2A technically, talking in class, not in class, but outside of the school, as they would see Midoriya walking out of the door straight away from them. Kirishima would yell out, "Hey man, what are you doing? Come on, you're not coming?" Midori would say, hold on, as he would walk over. Well, he wouldn't have. Well, Kirishima wouldn't have to yell up because he's walking by the door. They're directly there. He would walk up to them, as Kirishima would say, well, yell as he would walk out the door. Right. He would say. Also, I'm sorry about the background noise if you can hear that. Midori would say, no. You all are going to the provisional license exams, correct? Yeah. Well, why aren't you coming? Oh, he would reach into his pocket and pull out a hero's license. Well, professional license. Well, actually, no, that would be a hero's license, right? I believe so. I think. I already got mine. Got mine earlier. Passed the test here, or not here, but elsewhere. I already did the test. I have things to do. What? Why do you? Bakugo would yell, "Hey, why does he get one? But I don't. I'm better than him. It's unfair." Hey, I already took a test, okay, Bakugo? I took it early. They permitted me to, okay? So don't get your panties in a twist. I got things to do, okay? Personal business. Technically, along with hero business. So that's why I have mine early. Earlier than yours. Okay? See, they knew to do a quick rundown. They already know about my strengths. I'm already strong. They know my limits. They know how strong I am, right? They didn't know how I would do with civilians, though, since, well, past the past always haunts. But yeah, either way, they made me do a test where I had to save civilians and protect them, along with other, like the fake heroes. Well, they were real heroes there doing the same test as me. Not same test, but you get my point. They were there simulating like a team rescue as I was the head leader or a rescuer rescuing. Right. The fake civilians or the civilians in that matter were scared. I mean, they had a right to. I'm not the easiest to look at and not be scared. Right. But either way, I passed. Okay. So, where is he? He would turn back, just looking at into the door, and who are you looking for? Oh, looking for Mirio Tokita, a third year, well, now third year, previously second year's year's work. He was supposed to help me out with something. Hey, there he is. Hey, how you doing, Midoriya? As he would walk up behind them out of a black car out of the door. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot to tell you. I left earlier. I got there and then Sir said, "Where's Midoriya?" Then I said, "Drats, I forgot him." But now I'm here. Yeah, we gotta go if you wanna talk to Sir. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, good luck with your test, by the way, all of you. I hope you all passed. Bye. As he would turn away and do the wave, he would wave at them from behind. Right. As these two would walk, Mirio would say, "Bye, 2A. Be nice to the teacher." He would also, they would both get in the car in the back seats as they would start to talk themselves. Uh, Eventually, they would make it there along with, well, 1A would make it to the licensing exams, uh, area themselves. For everyone else, it's normal, in canon, stuff. The people who pass, pass. The people who don't pass, right? Um, Either way, we'll go back to Midoriya. Midoriya can be seen getting out of car along with Mirio. They would both say thank you to the driver as they would enter um, the agency of Sir Night Eye. As they would both enter, Bubble Girl would say, hey, Mirio, you're finally back. And you have the visitor. Yes. Sir's in his office. Okay. Mirio would say, okay, Bubble Girl. Come on, man. And he would, pat him on the shoulder. As they would both as they would walk past, Midori would bow and say, it's nice to meet you. As he would walk away along with Mirio. And Bubba Girl would say, I still can't believe he's only 18. Poor kid. Either way, they would continue on walking upstairs into an elevator going up. Mirio, while they would be in the elevator, would ask, oh, by the way, I never asked, why did you want to talk to Sir? Um, you'll find out. What? No insider information? Not yet. I have a feeling you'll be a big part in this plan. They would exit the elevator and keep on going through, eventually making to Sir's Night Eye's office, knocking the door, being permitted to enter. This is when talking begins. They would talk for hours and hours about a group called the Shihei Hasakai, part of the Yakuza, and their leader, Kai Chizuki, or better known as Overhaul, and his 9 bullets, and their connections to the Crossers, the people from Midoriya's past who took away his sensei because of past dealings that would lead them to a fight, leading them to a fight that would destroy that dojo that Midoriya remembers till this day. He remembers that day like it was yesterday. He remembers everything that he saw and he did. The rubble landing on him twice. Being took to the hospital along with his sensei. Watching the people who attacked him and his sensei that day. Watching them to go to jail. And years later, learning that the man his sensei took out along with the help of other heroes and himself, breaking out with his quirk, Skylord, a wind-based quirk where he would be able to control and manipulate wind at will. It's a scary quirk because he could easily take the air out of your lungs and then poof, it would feel like you're suffocating above land. Either way, as they would finally finish talking about everything, Mirio would be stunned on how that happened and how it was, and learning that there are uh, Yui's in a university in this one. Okay, I want to make that clear. I've made it clear before. They're all around 18, and learning for Mirio in this case, who's only 20 at this point, learning that someone younger than him, who is also stronger than him, and could easily beat him, well, not easily, but it would be a challenge, but who could easily beat him within strength and multiple other capabilities, went through that from younger age. Midoriya being a scrawnier kid and being bullied as a kid, eventually learning how to fight, but his mother also didn't want him anymore, so he signed over custody to the sensei. Midoriya spent time more than his own house. He's been at that dojo for most of his life. He still visits the rubble that has still yet to be fixed. That's been left there for over 2 years. Still over 2 years. Rubble has been lying there, has yet to be picked up. It's weird. It's never really set right with Midoriya learning that fact. No one's ever bothered to do anything about the rubble that lays there at that dojo. Either way, Midoriya and Night Eye would come up with a plan. A plan to take out multiple birds with one stone. Because they would know many things because of Midoriya's findings. They knew where the basic general area of the Shihei Sesaikai's base is. Well, they know multiple locations of multiple bases across Japan because of Midoriya. So they can just mark down over the next month or two way quicker than canon. They would find that base way quicker than in canon because of Midoriya's workings and his ways of getting this information. They would know that the part that they're in has to be low enough in attraction no one knows. So eventually, after months and time has went by, they would finally get a team together. Work studies have been already starting. Melissa would go with Night Eye, right? So they would encounter Airy and Overhaul during that time, same as in canon timeline, right? See, the heroes have been waiting and waiting for the time because they have no reason to just bust down the door of that compound and just start looking. They would have to find time to get a warrant. Heroes together, more heroes to get together. Well, that time would have finally come. The day of the meeting would arrive. Melissa and Mirio would still be distressed about the situation, about Airy and Overhaul, right? That would be their most worrying thing, right? But during the meeting being briefed more, that would not calm them, but motivate them. And then as time would go on during that meeting, they would finally get everyone on board. And well, it's time to overhaul the sequel of the sequel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you do. I don't know. But yeah, eventually it would come time to do this. Midoriya would be the most excited of them all because he would get to see an old friend. Well, not friend by any means. The Red Cross. The Red Crosser. He would get to see them again. Way stronger than in the past. He's ready. See what would happen as the raid would begin. The big guy would bust down through the door. Midori would look. On his shoulders would be the Red Cross. There he is. Midoriya with incredible speed. And shockwaves in hand, he would begin to fly through the air. As he would yell out, Air type! Disorder! Punching multiple times at high speeds, multiple shockwaves would be launched off in the air without a second thought. The big guy would put up his arms, a shield of wind, condensed wind would appear. It would be broken. A spiderweb-like effect would cross over it as it would break in multiple pieces. You could hear the Red Crosser say, "There he is! How you doing, kid? Nice to see you. Nice to see you're still kicking." Two wind spikes would be made within this man's hand, as he would say, "Hey, big guy, help me out here." "No problem." A massive fist would go hurling towards Midoriya mid-air, but yet he would use shockwaves to launch himself like forward faster than the punch could arrive, as he would bring both arms down to his side, and then two circular shockwaves would be made on them as he would bring them forward quickly, and as he would connect, he would yell out, "Annihilation type!" Boom! Hitting this massive behemoth man in like the lower ribs. You could hear them crack. The heroes and the villains would hear the bones crack, and and then he would. This massive man would be crashing, taking down villains, a whole entire like a lot of them, and crashing into the main house, the main like building in the compound, just like colliding with it. It like a half of it would just crack, and some of it would just crumble, as Midori would say, and he would look up and say, "There's your big guy gone. Now you're next." Sky Lord, Lord of the Sky Needles. Multiple needles of wind would fly down at Midoriya as he would yell out, "Disorder!" Punching these needles with insane precision, just knocking them and breaking them each hit to protect the people behind him. As the heroes would run in, Ryuko would and her agency would see the big guy standing up again. Not yet! As he would come barreling out of there, reeling back his fist, striking Midoriya. He would go flying, crashing through a building, multiple. Those buildings would collapse. Only halfway, though. And then shockwaves would blast off. "You should have stayed down, you freak!" Lake type. Flying planet, 1,000 wheels. 1,000 wheels. He would spin like a tsunami, flowing but yet deadly, as he would bring his left leg and turn, and doosh, 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 doosh. Multiple shock waves, like breaking the sound barrier, would hit this guy in his forearms because he would block it in time. But that would still just, it would break the massive gauntlets on his arms. But yet he would not move because a like crescent, but like a half circle or a half spear would keep this guy, the big guy, there. Midori would say, "I guess I'll have to deal with you first and then deal with him, won't I?" As he would then boom, 8-layered demon core. Doosh, 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 doosh. All these hits would connect barely. Basically a force field of wind would block each hit from connecting in the right spots. But after the 8th punch, it would shatter. And those condensed pieces of wind would just come back together as small, like dagger-like blades, and just make their home into his legs and like shoulder and like stomach area. As the big guy would get enough power to grab him, well, not grab him, but punch him into the ground. Yeah, Midori would crater into the ground. him still being conscious, he would begin to stand up as the big guy would bring his fist up again, and as he would begin to bring his fist down, a giant dragon claw would grab it and throw it up as it would headbutt this guy. As Uraka and Suyu would go down, help Midoriya back up as he would say, "I got it. He's mine. You'll help your uh, hero." God. I see you're not that tough after all. I had a funner fight against your sensei than you. Nejire would be right there saying, "Hey, are you okay?" Yeah. Yeah. I was told I was allowed to kill. Unalive, sorry. But I'm gonna mutilate him. I'm gonna maul him. He won't be able to say hi to his kids anymore. I wanna rip out his vocal cords. Back up. Help your hero. I still have unfinished business with you. And your employer. Well, your leader. Jumping within the air, barreling, like soaring at faster speeds than Prime All Might in a blitz. You could barely see Midoriya move. Annihilation type is all Red Cross, the Red Crosser, would hear until he would feel two impacts at his stomach and at his upper chest, nearing his throat. But luckily for him, he brought his chin down, so he basically nicked the bottom of his chin and the where your chest would be. Just coughing up a pile of ketchup. Wink, wink. Right? Just that would come hurling out of his body. As then he would have to block somehow from this 8-layered demon core. Do, 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 boom, do. Here it comes. Ooh, it would finally connect with the throat. Because he was going for body shots and joints. That last punch hit him in the gut again to make him just reel his head back up, and then opening, he would lose his breath. There we go. Disorder. After using disorder again, the Red Crosser would be sent for tunneling at the ground. As at that same time, the big guy would get slammed by Ryuku. Just slamming right on top of him, crushing him, but the big guy would still get up. While the Red Crosser would be down for the count. Unconscious, mask has been cracked, his armor would be teared to pieces, broken, and possibly not being able to speak for the rest of his life. His poor life. Midoriya would launch down with the help of shockwaves at the big guy, bringing his hand reeled back. With a large, circular, club-like shockwave created, just waylaying that in the back of this guy's head. His head would crack forward, but still conscious. He would turn back and, using his massive long reach with his arm, would swat at Midoriya, grab him, and throw him down into the ground. Clearly, this would not cause unconsciousness. He would still be up. Not upright, but he would still be up. Then, you know how Toga transformed into Midoriya, telling him where they were. That's what would happen. Midoriya, well, in canon, would turn into Midoriya, but this time Melissa. Transforming into her, telling them right there where they were, where the fight was happening, where to, crash down at. Ryuku would pick up this guy. Not pick him up, but slam him down into the area. Without Midoriya this time, he would get up, just waylay him in the stomach area, as then he would be gassed, trying to catch his breath, as he would be lifted up into the air and slammed down onto the road. This collapsing the ceiling of the hidden area underneath. This would also allow Overhaul to lurch out of launch. What's I meant to say? Launch out of that hole. Midoriya would see him for the first time, as he would say, "There you are." Leaping up, Melissa would be doing the same, catching up, because Eri is falling, right? But Overhaul is attempting to escape. Melissa would get to Eri, grab her, and get up on the roof. Not the roof, but, as Ryuku and her team would get down there and help out the injured, right? As Midoriya would launch up in the air, Overhaul would turn to his side and say, "I'm out of here." As then he would hear, "No, you aren't. Leg type. Crown splitter." Raising up his leg, into a reverse rising axe kick, bringing it down onto Overhaul's skull, like the top of his head, slightly cracking it, and then just boom. Ah! No, not yet. I will not be defeated by you disgusting, inhuman freaks. Yeah, I wouldn't really call him that. I'd recommend you also look up. What? And then, the Deku moment when he's like a whatever percent with Eri on his back and reeling back his fist, and the multiple hands would come up, and then boom! And then Midoriya, with the help of Melissa, launching him down even faster than he was going to go. Midoriya would say, "Crushing type, 10,000 leaves, flashing willow." As Overhaul would be still upright, he would be getting up. He would be able to get up. But Midoriya's hand reeled back, and his front arm halfway out and in a like a just flat out yelling the attack out would just boom. His fist would connect and would continue through into a forearm, like half elbow like attack. Just not not unaliving him, but he definitely did snap like a neck or and also crack his skull. But he's not unalived. I want to make that. I don't know how he isn't, but he's kind of there. Midori would stand up. You could hear cracking of like his leg bones. You could hear it crack back into place. Just and then his knee and his foot, basically his entire lower region would crack multiple times as he would continue to breathe heavy. I finally got my revenge. Now I just gotta carry out my other side of everything. Eat that. Overhaul. Such a dumb name. As he would just turn around and walk away. Teeth gone from Overhaul's face would just be splattered. Like one would be embedded in Midoriya's like fist. Midoriya would say, "Oh," he would rip it out, and then once he would be like, once Overhaul would be carried along like by like officers and like heroes, Midoriya would say, "This is his." As he would throw the tooth, it would land inside of his like pocket, and he would say, "Yeah." He would collapse. But he would still be conscious enough to it's like, uh, 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 he would start to violently like twitch. Ah, his skin would start to burn. What is happening? What is that? He would try to stand up, but it would be hard to. He would be at shaky legs. Back would weaken. He would like fall to his knees and just pass out. Now, you would be thinking, oh, he's having the demon like side effects from Demon Slayer where they burn in daylight. Yes and no. See, this is overuse of his quirk and of his body. That's what he is suffering from at the moment. Overuse in the fact that he used it way too much. That's what has been happening when he would be passing out. I just have not described it as this quantity. Like it is a like back then it would be a mixture of his actual fatigue and overuse of his quirk. Right? See, his quirk has been upgrading. Every fight he has been like fully hurt. Like the Nomu fight, this fight, um, and over all the fights that he's been through, his quirk's been upgrading and changing over time. His quirk name right now is Destructive Impact. That might change over his life. It should get a new name. That new name is Destructive Impact. I don't know of a name on the top of my head. Okay? But yeah, it has been fully upgrading this entire time. That's what happens when he his bones cracking. That's it's part of his quirk. Okay? But either way. Um I might do a new name. I might keep it there. I don't know what I'll do. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end here for today, folks. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all come back for the next one. And yeah, hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, night, afternoon, evening. I'll see y'all next time. Roll the dice.